And here we are with the lovely Charshy, who is royally sitting on this throne. Does it give you a real sense of power sitting on there, in a way?
I don't know, I only get to touch you for about 10 seconds on display.
So you do...
I feel comfortable now.
You feel comfortable now, yes. So you do actually get to sit in it, but only for a brief time in the actual production. But the character you're playing, of course, is the older version of Lady Jane Grey, who not many people know much about, but she does actually become queen. How long does she become queen for, though?
A whole 9 days.
A whole 9 days, yeah. So, and of course, what happens to her after that?
She is beheaded by Mary, and quite interestingly, she was going to be spared. She was quite popular at her time, and actually even said outright she didn't even want to be queen in history. So it's very interesting that in the end she was considered potentially too popular for her own good, and could eventually cause an uprising. So Mary had her done off just in case.
So it's quite a tragic story for her, really, in many respects, because she certainly didn't want to be queen, but she ends up being queen for 9 days and then losing her head over the process at the same time. It's a terrible story for a woman, isn't it, in many respects?
Yes, and I think the story that we tell here as well makes an even further dimension of that tragedy, in the sense that everyone else in the play has a lot of ambition for power, and Jane is one of the only people who is given it when she doesn't want it, and it's very much that the others manipulate and use her to meet their ambitious ends. Yeah, she very much reminds me of Ophelia from Hamlet.
Yeah.
In this particular play, and it makes it very interesting to play as a person.
And there's a wonderful love story between you and Edward as well, which is really touching and lovely to see, which is really fascinating. And then, as I say, it ends in real tragedy. What sort of things do you think the audience will enjoy the most about this production?
I think it's definitely the shifting of power between the different people in the play, and the points where people concede power, because sometimes that's the right thing to do, or because sometimes you don't want to be the person holding the responsibility when things go wrong. And it's interesting to see who picks that up, who doesn't, and who purposely gives it to somebody else. And that's what makes all the tension and the great relationships between the characters.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Charshy. And of course, the public can get tickets for this on the box office, which is?